Hey, I have a quick question for you. What would your life look like if you could earn thousands of dollars every month without picking up a second job, without learning a new skill, and without spending hours hustling? Right now, there's a brand new opportunity that's exploding quietly. While everyone else is still trying to deliver food, take surveys, or sell t-shirts online. It's what I call the plug and profit side hustle, because you literally plug into a proven system and profit from the growing demand in the marketplace. Businesses are leaving money on the table every single day, and this side hustle gets you paid to help them fix it. No tedious fulfillment, no tech skills needed, real income that keeps flowing even when you're not working. I'm hosting a free live training where I'll walk you through exactly what the opportunity is, why it's in its infancy, and how you can get positioned early and start earning money right away in this new economy. Now, seats are limited and the early movers always win, so reserve your spot right now. Go to www.plugandprofitsidehustle.com. That's plugandprofitsidehustle.com. Don't wait for another layoff or another emergency or another missed opportunity. Secure your future today. Go to plugandprofitsidehustle.com. Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 597. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today we're going to be doing part 1 of a 2-part series titled The Power of a Second Income. Now, today's title is The Power of a Second Income, Why One Paycheck is the Biggest Financial Risk of Your Life. The second episode, which drops the following Monday, is The Power of a Second Income, the high demand side hustle you never heard of. So make sure you lock in and listen to both of the episodes. Now, before I get to today's show content, let me just share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links such as plugandprofitsidehustle.com. You heard the promo at the beginning of the episode. Make sure you go to the webinar. It is live Tuesday, December 9th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to plugandprofitsidehustle.com. These 2 episodes coincide with that webinar, so make sure you listen to the episodes. Now, let's get ready for today's show content. The Power of a Second Income, Why One Paycheck is the Biggest Financial Risk of Your Life. Guys, you know what's happening right now. So depending upon a single income stream today is like walking on a tightrope without a safety net below you. You got corporate layoffs, rising costs, cost of living is going crazy, and entire industries are shifting or shutting down overnight. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about several different things. I'm going to talk about the harsh truth about today's job market and why safe careers aren't safe anymore. I'm going to also discuss why most side hustles fail and the hidden trap that keeps people working harder but earning less, and also the 5 characteristics that separate high-value side hustles from time-wasting BS dead-end side hustles. So we're going to get ready to dive into that right now. So let's first talk about, number 1, what happens if your paycheck stops tomorrow? Now, unfortunately, this happens to too many people. We just went through a government shutdown for 43 days, I believe. And there were tons of people that were hurting. You had SNAP benefits that were being withheld. You had people who work for the government who didn't get paid. One of my best friends from first grade, so I've known him a long time. He works for HUD. And luckily he had money saved, but it still was hurting him because he didn't get paid for those 43 plus days. And so what happens if your paycheck stops tomorrow? Are you prepared to be able to survive? And the answer for the majority of the people is no. And I always tell people the best time to start a side hustle or a business is while you have a job. That job is your VC. That's your venture capitalist. All right. It's going to fund your business and your side hustle. The problem is most people wait until they get fired or laid off, and then they start scratching their head trying to figure out, okay, what do I do now? That shouldn't be the case, guys. And I'm giving you everything I got right now to try to encourage you. If you don't have more than one stream of income, you definitely need to take that into account. So what happens if your paycheck stops tomorrow? There's an illusion of job security, and that illusion is fading quickly. So it's not like 50 years ago when somebody could work at a plant or facility like General Motors, work there 35 years and be able to buy a house, take care of a family, and have a spouse that doesn't work. That's not happening anymore. Those days are gone. So you can't trust corporate America to feed you, right? So if that's the only thing that you're doing, you got to get something else going on, all right? Let's talk about why one income is too risky today. And I just kind of touched on it. Corporate priorities versus employee livelihood. What are the priorities of corporations? Making more money, right? So they have to answer to the board. If they're a publicly traded company, they have to answer to the board. They're slashing employees like crazy. Who was it? I think it was Amazon is even laying off employees. You have artificial intelligence and robots that are messing up people's jobs and livelihoods. So you have to be able to put yourself in a position where you're highly skilled or valuable, or you know what niche to be in when you create a side hustle. So corporate priorities versus employee livelihood. And I'm sorry to tell you guys, they don't care about your livelihood. All they care about is the corporation. It's big business. That's what it is. That's all they care about. All right. Capitalism. I always talk about this. Capitalism doesn't care about nothing else but capitalism. And I'm a capitalist and I understand it. But I look at the food industry, right? So they're going to produce food. They're going to put all these additives and preservatives in the food so they can produce the food, ship the food all over the country and all over the world so they can make $1, knowing that the additives that they put in the food are no good for you. So they're killing you. The food we're eating is killing us. And then you have the medical field that's trying to, quote unquote, cure us. And in real life, they want to keep you sick as long as they can so they can sell you these overpriced medicines. It's ridiculous. Don't let me go off on a tangent. But corporate priorities versus employee livelihood. Let's talk about wages versus inflation. Okay. Are your wages matching the inflation right now? Most people, it's not. So your wages aren't even catching up to inflation. So that means you're getting behind each and every year more and more and more. So we have to understand what we're dealing with and how we have to realize that one paycheck is the biggest financial risk of your life. Let's talk about retirement plans that are no longer reliable. There are people that have invested their monies in retirement plans, and retirement plans have gone away. Can you imagine working 30, 40 years or whatever for somebody, and you're thinking you're about to retire, enjoy the last portion of your life, and all of your money is gone? It's ridiculous. So you have to take care of yourself. Nobody cares about you like you do, okay? Nobody cares more for your well-being than you do, all right? So don't forget that. Now, let's talk real quick about why most side hustles fail. Now, there's side hustles out there and business opportunities like crazy. And I'm going to raise my hand because I probably tried damn near all of them. I've been in MLMs. I've been in all type of business opportunities, distributorships, all types of stuff. Some good, some bad, whatever. But why most of them fail? Number one, they take more time than they give you a return. So if you're spending all your time in this side hustle, you're not making money. There's a cost of your time. Your time costs money, right? So you don't want to spend more time and not get a return. It's wasting time. Another reason that a lot of these side hustles fail is they require constant labor to make money. You're trading dollars for hours. You're not using leverage. So that's another thing. I get it, guys. If you want to do DoorDash or Uber or whatever, yeah, you're going to make some money, but you're trading time for dollars, and that requires a constant labor for you to make money. I actually flew into Detroit a couple of months ago, and I had to go to Pontiac, Michigan for an event. So I got there in the airport, and I said, well, let me get an Uber. Didn't realize how far it was. And I had to pay $82 for an Uber. Traffic was crazy. It took me a little over an hour to get from the airport to Pontiac. And I'm talking to the brother who's an Uber driver. And I'm just saying, I'm like, damn, man, I spent $82 on this ride. And he was like, you paid $82. He said, man, I only made $31 out of that $82. And I'm like, damn. So that's crazy right there. So once again, constant labor to make money. So he drove a little over an hour to make $31. Now, it may sound like it's sweet, $31 an hour, but he's got gas and he also has time, right? So the other thing why a lot of side hustles fail is they lack automation and scalability. You have to leverage automation and you have to be able to scale if you want to really make any money in a side hustle. So all of this manual labor stuff is cool if that's what you like to do. If you want to cut grass on the weekends, there's nothing wrong with that. But how do you scale that? How many customers can you take in? So you have to really look at that. Now, let's talk about 5 characteristics of a high value second income. 5 characteristics of a high value second income, side hustle, whatever you want to call it. So these are things, guys, that you have to understand that makes some side hustles better than others. Number 1, high demand. If you don't have a demand for something, you're not going to make any money. I don't care if it's your regular job or a side hustle. A high demand. If you sell typewriters right now, right, you're going out of business, all right, because there's not a high demand for typewriters. If you sell payphones right now, you install payphones, guess what? You're out of business. You're not making any money. So there has to be a high demand for whatever product or service that you're selling. And we're talking about 5 characteristics of a high value second income. Buddy of mine who, good friend of mine from college, he loves gadgets, right? And so during the not the pandemic, but during the financial crisis of 2007 and 2008, he decides he wants to go in and sell home automation, right? Now, if you got the money, you got the money, but the majority of the country was hurting. So he's trying to go sell this lighting stuff and all kind of gadgets. You hit a button on your way home. Now your house turns into a specific mood. The lights come on. It's all fine and dandy, but there wasn't a high demand for that at that time, right? So characteristic of a high value second income or side hustle, it has to be high demand. Number 2, low skill barrier. And that doesn't mean a low barrier to entry, but you don't have to have specific high-end skills to be successful. It's a low skill barrier. Now, you could say to me, yo, Jay, low skill barrier is sweeping floors. Yeah, it is. But that's all right. Everybody's still not going to make money doing that. And when you're sweeping floors, which once again, with janitorial services, I got one of my best friends has a big janitorial service. You're trading dollars for hours if you're doing the work yourself. So another characteristic of a high value second income is a low skill barrier. So you want to be able to get in there and do something that makes you money and not have to learn a whole bunch of technical skills. Okay. I know a lot of these business opportunities require you to learn all types of crazy software and different products and procedures. You don't want that, okay? Now, if you have those technical skills, then that's fine. Another characteristic of a high-value second income or side hustle is automation and leverage. I can't talk about this more than enough, guys. Automation and leverage. Everybody talks about AI right now. Automation and leverage. Leverage allows small people to open big doors, right? So that's like a hinge on a door. You put hinges on the door, it could be 1,000-pound door, and that hinge is going to be able to help you open that door. So automation and leverage. That's another characteristic of a high-value second income. Number 4 characteristic is high earning potential per sale. High earning potential per sale. You're not going to do it if it's not worthwhile, right? So if you're selling something and you're making $20 and it takes you a long sales cycle, how long do you think you're going to be selling that product or service? You're not, because it's not worth it. You want to have a high earning potential per sale. Okay, so if you're making $200, $300, $400, $1,000 per sale, that's good. Now, it also depends on how hard it is to sell. So if you have a product that is in high demand, low skill barrier, it has automation and leverage with a high earning potential per sale, you're in a good place. And characteristic number 5, scalability. How can you scale this business, this side hustle? So once again, if you're, cutting grass as a side hustle, it's going to be super hard to scale that by yourself. You're going to have to go in and hire other people because you only have so many hours in the day. Okay, so those are the 5 characteristics of a high value side hustle or second income. Now, before we get to the last segment of the show, guys, let me just share all my social media contact information and resource links. So I mentioned at the top of the show, make sure you come to the webinar Tuesday night, December 9th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There will not be any replays as of now. Go to plugandprofitsideHustle.com. PlugandprofitsideHustle.com. If you want a side hustle that has the 5 characteristics that I just mentioned, make sure you come to this webinar and learn about this in this training. PlugandprofitsideHustle.com. Now, if you want to connect with me, guys, anything long, hit me on my email, jayjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, jayjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Instagram, I have 2 IG accounts. The first one is Jay Jones for Real, JAYJONES, the number 4 REAL. Second one is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Twitter or X, JJones001, JAYJONES001. LinkedIn, you can look for Jay Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and also YouTube. Make sure you connect and sign up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have additional content on YouTube that is not on the podcast. Go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and hit that subscribe button. Also, for all you first-time listeners, we drop a new episode every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on all your major podcast platforms and YouTube. So wherever you're watching this and listening to this, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you'll be alerted when new episodes drop. Now, let's get back to the last segment of the podcast. So today, guys, what I really wanted to drive home was don't sit there ass out with one form of income. And I've seen it more and more every day. I talked to my youngest daughter, who I mentioned that may be going through some layoffs. And now she's scrambling like, oh, I should have started my side hustle, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but the problem is human nature. Human nature is a mother, right? It's strong. So most people don't act until they have to. Instead of, hey, I got a job, I'm busting my ass, I'm tired when I get home, but I'm still going to create this second stream of income. Most people don't do that. The average person is going to be like, oh, yeah, I know I need to do it. And then once they get laid off or fired, Now they got that fire under their butt and they're trying to catch up. When really, as I mentioned before, guys, the best time to start a side hustle or a business is while you have a job. And I know it's tough. I've been there, done that before. I've had a full-time job trying to start a side hustle. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of commitment. But you got to look at the reverse side. What happens if you get laid off? One of my best friends from college, I call him the reluctant entrepreneur. He lost his job right during the crash when, my business, my mortgage business tanked. I almost lost everything. He lost his job. He was in the same position, and he reluctantly tried to start a business in the same industry he was in because he couldn't get a job and the economy was bad. But as soon as the economy turned and he got a job, he was happy to go back and do his thing. And I get that. Some people aren't built for this. All right. You got to be built to be an entrepreneur, especially during the tough times. And so his whole philosophy was, you know what? I don't have any income. I'm about to lose everything. Let me go and try to start a business. And wrong answer. You do that when you have a job. OK, if you're working at corporate America right now and you think that you might lose your job, I don't care. Matter of fact, if you don't think you're going to lose your job, have some type of additional income. The title of the show is The Power of a Second Income, right? Why one paycheck is the biggest financial risk of your life. And if you don't understand it by now, we went through the pandemic. That should have hit you in the head like right then. We went through the government shutdown for 43 days. We're going through a recession. People are losing their job. Inflation is going crazy. So you need to recognize and understand what the playing field is and what you need to do to protect yourself and your family. Now, if you are currently an entrepreneur, you still need more than one source of income. So you may have different lines of business, or you may have two different businesses. I have multiple businesses in different verticals. Now, not everybody likes to do that or wants to do that, but that's just the way that I'm built. I need to have multiple balls in the air. That's the way I work. I work better, actually, when I have a lot going on as opposed to just, working on a singular project. And I know, my wife and kids joke about me having ADD, and a lot of entrepreneurs have what I call entrepreneur ADD because when we see opportunities, we start to make moves and start doing research. So you could go online. This is me, actually. About 3 days ago, I was researching some stuff for the webinar that I'm doing. And I got sidetracked. And 2 hours later, I came out the other side with something totally different. A waste of time, right? So you got to be able to focus. All right. So that's one thing. But you have to recognize and understand, family, that you need to have more than one stream of income if you're an employee and even if you are an entrepreneur. And it could be something as simple as reselling stuff on Amazon or eBay. But if you can do it consistently to give you another form of income, that's what you need to do. So also, don't forget, plugandprofitsidehustle.com, a live webinar training that I'm doing Tuesday, December 9th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There is no replay, so make sure that you're on right then so you can check out this. Man, I'm telling you, this is amazing. And I've been making money in this vertical for a little while, and I wanted to share it with the BEB family. And it has all the 5 characteristics of a high value second income: high demand, low skill barrier, automation and leverage, high earning potential per sale, and scalability. So you definitely do not want to miss that. So as I say each and every week, guys, because it's true, we get more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. I appreciate you guys so much. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the blog, the ecosystem, the online courses, the books, everything designed to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Remember, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.